Hey art friends, I am here in beautiful Orange Beach visiting some family, and I'm going to put this weird thing to the test today, to the field test today. I'm not going to be able to record the entire thing because I just don't have that many hands, but I think I'm going to paint this beautiful bayou. I'm going to do that in my handbook, and these are going to be the tools of my trade, this crazy thing. These, and a cup of water, and the water brush that comes with it. So far, so good. I think right now the major limitation is my own ability as well as the capabilities of this paper. It's a watercolor paper, but it's like a cardstock weight, so it really can't take a lot of working. I am, however, working with the palette spaced out here on the edge of a chair. I am using a cup of water, and I am trying to avoid the water brush just because I have difficulty with controlling water brushes as well as the amount of flow from water brush. I am actually using the provided mixing surface, so we'll see how quickly that fills up. But in general, I'm fairly happy with how the colors are handling, and I think me and my paper are the limiting factors rather than the paint or the quality of the paints themselves. I think one of my problems with this set, at least for gesture painting, is that the colors are a little bright and a little pure. And when you're mixing with like 42 available colors, you're less likely to actually get mixes. So you're less likely to get kind of the more muted neutral tones that you're really looking for. And considering the mixing space is so limited, it's very tempting to just grab something that you've already got or attempt to mix it on the paper. Now, usually mixing it on the paper is a good idea, but with cheap watercolor papers like this, it can be a lot harder, and often the paper is dry before you even get a chance to put down your next layer, so you don't get a lot of on-paper mixing. I don't really care for the resulting piece, but fortunately it's just a sketch. I can let it dry and start over again. Alright, this is the sketch for Weird Palette from Instagram, numero 2. Let's see if I can maybe keep this one simple so it doesn't look so gross and muddy. Alright, I've had so many problems with these watercolors. I'm going to paint something like ridiculously simple and basic and see if I can't possibly pull that one off. Alright, I think I've got it. I think I understand what's going on. These paints are they're really saturated, which is good. But there's a lot of color selection, possibly even too much color selection. And they just really don't lend themselves as well as you would think for travel. I mean, yes, all the exterior kind of stuff is there to say these are travel watercolors. They fold up really compactly. They have a sponge on them. They have an included little mini palette. They come with a water brush. You would really think these would be great for travel. And maybe they're great for travel like journal sketching, something like that. But if you're mixing colors, if you're trying to get nice neutrals, if you're trying to get subtle colors, it's a lot harder to work with these. Now, I've been using my Cheap Joe's Golden Fleece, and part of the reason for that is generally I find the Golden Fleece is really good for doing sort of more painterly stuff when I travel. In fact, I use the Golden Fleece entirely for this, but it's just really hard to get more nuanced color out of this set, or at least I'm struggling with it. Maybe you won't, but like I said in my unbox and swatch video, if you're looking for really saturated colors, a lot of color options in kind of a compact form factor, this could be really great. So for brush letterers, for crafters, even for certain types of artists, this could be a really good pick for you. But if you are kind of going out in the field, if you're doing field painting, field sketching, I really kind of think you might be better served working with a smaller palette, a limited palette like the Daniel Smith Essential 6, and just kind of mixing your own, because you can definitely get more nuanced colors. I'd kind of notice that even with some mixing, my colors were a little bit too much, a little too vivid, a little incongruous, and it just made it, I guess, harder for me to deal with, harder for me to paint what I wanted. I found it a little frustrating, but that might be something you like. So I don't necessarily think the paints inside are bad paints. I think they're pretty excellent paints actually, but the form factor needs a lot of tweaking. There's still a lot of problems with this. Now, if you get this for 20 or less, then you know you've probably gotten a fair deal. Don't pay more than 20. I paid more than 20. I think I paid 48 on Dignify. Finally found out where I got this from. I got it from Dignify. Don't get it from Dignify. It's way too much. They're all basically the same ones from China. You can also get these on AliExpress. I would bet you the ones on AliExpress aren't any different, or even in, not AliExpress, Wish. I would bet the ones on Wish aren't any different or any better than the ones on Amazon. So if you really, really have to have this thing, get the one with the best price. So that was my actually in the field test. I hope this was helpful, useful, and informative for you guys. If you like what you see, this has been good for you, consider subscribing. And if you'd like to support what I do, head on over to my Patreon for information on how to become an art nerd and help support this channel. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys again really soon. Bye guys.